Hey funky people, what's going on? It's 36COF and today I got My Hero Academia chapter 320. And My Hero 320, guys, Deku versus Class 1A. This is what we've been waiting for. Now, a quick reminder of what happened in the last chapters. 319 is when we see Deku being overwhelmed by the villain, the Tartarus escapee, the dictator. Because we saw that he had a versatile quirk that allowed him to control people, essentially giving him an endless supply of soldiers. And he targeted civilians, so this put Deku at disadvantage because he couldn't go all out against these civilians because they're being controlled. Now, just when it looked like Deku was being overwhelmed, like he's going to finally snap, we see Bakugo turn up, and him and Class 1A had been talking to both Endeavor and Principal Nezu in order to help find Deku and bring him back to UA. Now, that is my brief synopsis of what happened in the previous chapters because I want to get into this one, guys. 320. Because we see Bakugo and he says to Deku, you even draw differently these days. You think you're some big shot now, you damn nerd. Just because you got the fourth user's quirk. And Deku's just like, you've all come for me, thanks, but. And he disappears. He uses the fourth user's smoke screen, the sixth user's smoke screen, sorry, in order to obviously create a smoke screen and disperse. Now this ain't gonna stop Bakugo, but Bakugo has not come just to let Deku escape and slip through his fingers, and he releases a landmine blast in order to disperse the smoke, I guess. And he says, "Oh, so now you're one of the all-powerful big shots. You think we're just a bunch of NPCs to you?" I love the video game reference that Bakugo uses, and at this time, then Koda. My boy, well, I can't even say my boy Koda because he's one of my least favorite characters, but he is showing out in this chapter, and each member of Class 1A has their chance to go up against Deku, and they have a chance to try to talk no jutsu him back, if that's, to put it bluntly. Now, I feel like this is the talk no jutsu done better than what it was done in Naruto, because we see that Naruto used the talk no jutsu basically to every major villain after a certain point in the series, but at least here the people in Class 1A, they know Deku. They've spent a year with him training and learning together in class, training to become heroes, so it makes more sense that each person at least has one good memory of Deku, or if a few, because this is only 320, guys, so we're on a 2-week break, so we may see the Class 1A try to bring Deku back even more. But like I said, Koda has used these pigeons in order to swarm Deku, and he says, you should come back to the school. The principal said you're welcome back. Please, you should come. Stop running away. And just at this time, we see Zero. He uses his tape in order to yank Deku along with him. And even Zero mentions that the Black Whip is pretty scary, and no wonder people are scared. And at this time, it does go back to when Deku was first training Black Whip, when he's got the little poofy afro, which I love. And just at this time, we see we see Jiro and her earphone attachments as they're sneaking up behind Deku, and she unleashes her heartbeat wall. And at that same time, Ojiro also comes in and grabs Deku with his tail and delivers a tornado tail dance and slams Deku. While he tries to slam Deku, but he's able to break free. And like I said, all of Class 1A is showing out, guys. It's not just to be fair, we haven't even seen the heavy hitters. We really haven't seen him go up against like Bakugo one-on-one, or have his like I said, have his one-on-one against Bakugo. Because that's something, like I said, each member, either Jiro and Ojiro, both have moments where they say, Deku, do you remember the, like with Jiro, Ojiro, I should say. The names are very similar, so I do forget sometimes, guys, so forgiveness. But Ojiro mentions his time at the UA Sports Festival when he went up against Shinzo, and Jiro mentions how Deku helped her organize her notes for the music festival. And just then, Sugar Man does come in, and at the same time, I do have to, because so much is going on. Because like I said, it's Deku against 19 other people, and Dark Shadow and Fumikage does jump in and grab Deku and slam him into the wall, and that is when Sugar Man jumps in and saves Jiro and Ojiro. And now we see Deku slammed into the building, and who's there but Momo? Now this must have been their plan from the beginning in order to just attack Deku, overwhelm him, and then have him go up against people individually, people who maybe he's had more interactions with, like Momo here. Although him and Momo haven't had too many interactions themselves in the series, you can comment down below and tell me if there's any particular moments in the series that come to mind to you. I do have to say, guys, that I am messing up quite a lot today, and I'm in the UK. I live in the UK, if anyone doesn't already know, and the date is the 20th of September of July, and it is super hot in my room right now. I can't have the fan on because it takes up it. Anyway, yeah, it's hot, guys. That's my main gist. But Momo seemed to create some machine to help put Deku to sleep, and I mean Deku, he breaks away. He's like, stop wasting your effort, stop, get away from me. And that's when Kaminari jumps in and says, Deku, we need you to see the error of your ways, Deku. We understand that all for one is one for all is a powerful thing, but you got something more important in your life, and he does have Deku, and just before he does his indiscriminate shock, we see duplet arms, and again he grabs Deku, wraps him up, and then on top of that we see Fumikage use Dark Shadow Ragnarok Room, which is a new attack which he wraps himself. He wraps Deku in a cocoon of Dark Shadow, and even Fumikage says that this concept was brought on by you, Deku. This was thanks to you why I can do this. And we see Deku, he manages to rip through the bindings of Dark Shadow, which that's immense. It's an immense thing for him to do, and especially because how strong we know Fumikage and his Dark Shadow quirk is for Deku to be able to rip apart the bindings. And Deku's sent himself hurtling through the sky, and he's saying, I get it, guys. I get you're worried about me, but I know deep down in my heart that you guys don't mean me any ill will, because you're not the reason my danger sense is going off right now, and my danger sense has alerted me to something. And he knows it's not these guys. They're trying to help Deku. They have no ill will, no malice toward them. So he's telling them to get away. But these are his thoughts, because Deku's not vocalizing much. He's not talking as much as he usually did. He's more internal now, more than ever. And this is due to All for One's influence, and how he's been systematically just attacking Deku for weeks and weeks, isolating him from anyone close to him. And now, guys, now Shoto stepped on the scene. We see Shoto and Tsuyu, because Shoto has released the ice piercing wall in order to trap Deku, and this is when Shoto says, just look at you now, Deku. Is this responsibility so much that you can't even let yourself cry? Seems like such a burden. You should share the burden with the rest of us. And again, this is something they've all been saying to Deku, but he just hasn't been listening. And now we see Tsuyu. This is the last scene of the chapter, guys, and yeah, guys, because this is when Tsuyu does step in and say, not so fast, Deku. And Deku has a little flashback, and to where she says, I'm not weeping and moping around anymore. You're my friend, and when we're scared, we tremble together. And if you're obsessed with becoming this comic book hero, Deku, then Class 1A will live that fantasy with you. And that's the end of the chapter. That is My Hero Academia chapter 320, guys. You tell me what you think below. How do you think this chapter's gonna? How do you think 321's gonna go? Do you think Deku's gonna continue fighting? Because we still haven't seen Bakugo yet fight. We haven't seen Uraraka, and we haven't seen Ida really fight. And all Shoto's done is use his ice. He hasn't used his flames in an offensive manner against Deku yet. So I don't believe that they've saved Deku yet. They've convinced him. I believe that will happen. If not in 321, it will happen in 322, guys. But I'm 36 COF. This is my Hero Academia chapter 320 review. But another thing I would like to mention is that I do feel like there will be another attack by a villain, just as Deku is able to come to his senses. that is one prediction I do have. You guys tell me your predictions from My Hero Academia chapter 321. Tell me what you guys thought about this chapter 320 on 36 COF. You guys have a great day. Keep it fresh and keep it funky. Goodbye.